Chair, I just wanted to know from the eloquent governor, what is the current ratio of the county's wage bill to the development expenditure? That is one. Two, can you provide an overview of your current staff and establishment? Second question.
That question has been asked already. Establishment?
It's asked.
We've asked that.
I think there is.
You've not answered that question.
Yeah, he has not answered that because he was asking.
Excuse me.
They proposed.
They
proposed the staff that you want to employ in expense with the one that you have mentioned. How many will your needs?
We have CEO.
Finally,
Public
Chair.
Service.
One
minute. Let him answer that question first. Can you answer that question, please? The question is, do you have a staff establishment? If yes, you can provide. If not, we'll give you time to provide.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We have not come with the staff establishment. I wish we will have come with it, yes. But what the governor is reporting is our existing the populated positions.
Point of order, Chair.
That is...
The question you are being asked is the staff establishment based on your organogram.
Yes.
So governor said, and because you are the public service who are supposed to advise the governor, can you get us the number of
the people you have and current employment? And then there is a proposal of
same.
Okay.
Chair, I think this is one of the highest counties with a huge staff force. So I think it is important that we get those documents.
Thank you very much. We are giving you a week to. Okay, Senator, come on.
Can you give me a chance to go on record, Chair? I wasn't in. I've just walked in.
Okay. Can go on record, kindly.
Thank you, Chair. Your Excellency, the Governor of Wajir and your team, I am Senator Beth Siengo from Kitui County Committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Siengo. Senator Kamau.
Yeah, the Chair, I've gone through this document and I've not seen the breakdown of employees by age. That is the total number of employees by age, as well as CC and chief officers. It's not provided.
Thank you.
1 minute.
I addressed Chair because they have only stated that they have that 5 and below, and then they have.
Please note down that question, and then you are through with your questions.
I wanted final question. I want to know the number of the.
Madam Betty.
Thank you, Chair. The other question I wanted, as much as the governor said that, do you have a total number of the people living in this? Two, what are you doing progressively to improve this figure to 5% as required by law?
Minimum of 5%.
Yes, a minimum. Progressively, that one I understand. I also wanted the governor to clarify how many people, because you've just indicated that you have employees over the age of 35. We need to know how many are over the age of 65, if any, because we only allow people with disability to go to the age of 65. The rest should retire at 60. And can we also have the breakdown? Did you get it, the governor? Okay. There is also, can we have the breakdown of the CEC and chief officers separately, including in the Zenity and not, which is not provided in this document. Lastly, can you have a breakdown of age of the chief officers? Age of the chief officers.
Chair.
Okay, Senator Beth.
Yes. I have this question, Chair. Before this committee, we got a PPRA report. And from that report, it indicates that Wajir County has not submitted the Agibo report for 3 years. So the requirement is that you report in 6 months. But the report indicates that Wajir County has not reported.
Okay, you can answer the other questions. You can leave this one at the tail end.
Thank you. Very quickly, Chair. On the establishment, we'll provide in a week as requested by my CEO of the board. On wage bill ratio, we are at 40%, and we are progressively working towards 35%. But Chair, you will appreciate that wage bill ratio is a ratio. It's affected by both the numerator and the denominator. And in our case, it's more of a revenue issue as opposed to an expenditure issue. And we seek the help of the Senate in increasing the revenue for counties. And we're spending 2 billion shillings on the salaries of healthcare. Is on page 4. And we have 47% of our employees under 35.
Governor, the issue of the age, we are okay with number 1, which is below.
Yeah.
So if you say over the age of 35, 35 to even 1,000 is over 60, then 60 to 65 because of disability.
Yeah, okay.
That is what we need clarity on it.
Clarity on, okay.
We'll give you 7 days to give us that breakdown, please.
Okay. On the absolute number of, head count of people with disability, it's on page 1. It's 91 people, Senator. Yes.
For the whole county or in the workforce?
In the workforce, the total workforce is 91 people, which works out at to 2.27% of our 4,002 workers.
I wanted, Chair, through the Chair, I wanted to know, do you have the total number in the county so that we can compare with this percentage you've given?
It's on page 1, Honorable Senator. Persons with disabilities, 91. Total number of people, 4,002.
You're asking about
the total number,
census 2019.
The total number of people living with disabilities in the whole county.
Census 2019.
Okay, don't have that off head.
If you don't have it, also it is it can be found, no problem.
Yeah.
Public knowledge, it can be found.
Yeah, but it might interest to know the Senator that I have a disability fund where we give 4,500 shillings every month to families taking care of people with disability.
That's the number we are looking for. Then how many families are you supporting?
We're supporting over 600, I think 700 families by the last count, families.
It's the total number, the census number of 2019. So it's important we get that number.
Yeah, okay.
Feeding program for the people living with disability.
Yes, it's actually a fund passed by the Assembly.
Yes.
And we do it in a stipend manner.
Very
the
good.
money goes directly from the bank account to the M-Pesa of the family, the head of the family taking care of the disabled person.
Yes, if you have any documentation for your documents,
yes,
it's good.
And Chair, you might want to know that has actually been recognized by the UN.
Mm-hmm.
And we had been invited to collect an award
That's good.
in New York as a result of that program. Yeah.
I think it is important that he also provides pictorial and evidence of that, because that will also aid in his report as a county.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you also have to remember, members, that there are some stipends that are being given by the national government to people living with disabilities and the offices.
Thank you. Let's allow him to finish you answer all the questions, then we can go for more questions.
Yeah. Chair, I seek your indulgence on providing the actual number of people over 65, together with the staff establishment, because we had over 35, but we didn't categorize that. On the AGBO, I note the the comments of the Honorable Senator, and I'll pick that up with my people. I didn't actually know that we had not submitted. I need to establish the veracity of that with, and will report here.
So through the chair, yeah, the report we have indicated that your reports have not been reaching their office. So I wanted you to confirm what is the problem. Would you be having challenges to report to PPRA?
Honorable Senator, we should not be having any challenge. I will find about
it. Governor, do we have the report? Okay, can you confirm on that report? What your report? Yes. I think he has reported. Let's ask our clerk to. Yes. Sorry, I want to, for your any reference, we had PPRA before this committee, before we called you here, and we have a report here. I'll ask the clerk to tell us if we've reported or not.
Report.
Yes.
In the report that I have here, I think Wajir County is compliant in terms of reporting, because the counties I have here that have not that are not compliant are 14. So and they are not within the list.
So thank you. Let me look at the list. The list we have here on page 43.
Chair, I'm waiting for you to capture my presence. So
I will. A few minutes. Let's.
Chair, you're taking too long to do that.
You're out of order, my friend.
just comment on that, Chair. My procurement manager is not with us because there's an audit ongoing now. Kenao are in our offices and he's attending to that. But if you look at page 14 of my submission, paragraph 2 says we have shared a comprehensive annual report on preference and reservation for contracts awarded to youth, women and persons with disability in line with section 157(12) and 13 and regulation 161 of the PPRA to the National Treasury that includes detailed records of all contracts
Thank you, Governor.
awarded.
On members, page 43, for reference of Senator for Wajir, my good friend. If you look at PPRA report on page 43 or 44, every member here has that report. And we have those people who didn't comply. There are 14.
Chair, can I interject?
Yes, please.
The reporting that the governor is talking about is to the National Treasury, but this one is specifically to PPRA.
Madam, you are out of order because you have a report before you and I have a report here. And the report is very
Chair,
clear.
our legal counsel is here and he is directing
Excuse me,
He's guiding me.
legal counsel, do you have the report, PPRA report?
Chair, I stand guided.
Report.
I do have a report on reservations, Chair.
Yes, the report which is here. Can I give you this report for you to read? Sorry? Okay.
Chairman, I think we just need not to mix up things. There's the issues of reporting to PPRA, which is normally done every after 6 months. And I'm sure with the kind of report we have from PPRA, the list of counties that did not comply are clearly indicated here, and there are 14 in number. 14 in number. And Wajir, I don't think is part of those people who have not reported to PPRA.
Thank you very much. Let's proceed, Governor.
Chair, we'd actually even been audited by the PPRA, so maybe I'll provide that to the Senate if there is a need.
This is internal issues we can finalize later on, no problem.
That's settled. That was the last question that was asked on the Agboya.
Is Senator Abbas?
Thank you, Chair. I think I want to first register my presence.
Before, let me ask Senator Mofaya to go on record.
Thank you, Chair. This is Senator Mwenda Kataya, Mofaya, Tharaka County. You know, Chair, I wanted to make some intervention on PWDs even before the governor moved out of that presentation, because I have, PWDs are normally traumatized. These are people who not even show up for interviews, even make applications, even, there is a lot of stigma surrounding, and it's a cultural issue across maybe board, maybe everywhere. I don't know. What incentives are you putting in place, His Excellency, to make sure that you bring on board those PWDs on limelight in terms of maybe getting contracts, getting employed, and all many other things? What incentives are you?
Thank you very much, Senator Mofaya. Senator Abbas.
Chairman, I think first and foremost I want to welcome the team from Wajir, the governor and his team.
Senator Mofaya. Senator.
My question, I just want to ask some clarification here. That Governor, you have 4,002 employees. Does that one include your advisors, Wajir, the other board members of municipalities and Wajir for municipality and the lands board members? Or this is all the technical team?
Thank you, Chair.
Before you answer, I also can see the list, the distribution in terms of ethnicity. Page 3, you have number 76, you have Somali. So can you be able to state what this Somali means? Because I can see the Ogaden is there, the Gode is there. Who are these Somalis?
Thank you, Chair. Beginning with the questions asked by...
Governor, the question... give him an answer so that he's...
But
thank you very much for acknowledging that.
Senator, Honorable Senator, we appreciate the challenges of persons with disabilities. We have, out of our pool of 4,002 workers, we are 2.27%. We appreciate that we are not at the constitutional threshold of 5, but we all need to pull up our socks. But Chair, I also want that supports families with disabilities with a stipend of 4,500 a month, which we give to deserving families with disabilities consistently through the bank board members. It doesn't include, this is employees of the Public Service Board. It doesn't include the autonomously run Wajir, and we have won the case on the... We feel that in the last regime they were over-recruited, but this doesn't include. It includes my advisors, who stand at about 8.
Your advisors are how many?
My advisors stand at a number of 8.
That question was asked by Senator Lomonen.
Yes.
Your advisors are 8?
Yes, they are 8. Chair, and they include advisors on matters to do with security, which are challenges that are specific to us. But given that my predecessor had 56 or thereabout, I have brought them down and will...
But what does the law allow? What does the county...
Yes,
as attorney say about that, about the number of advisors?
Chair, there's really nothing in law per se. There's an advisory from SRC. Actually, it was from Transition Authority initially, which was adopted by SRC. But I haven't really seen anything in law, in subsidiary legislation or in any regulations per se.
But, Governor, all the governors who came before us have 3 advisors, and you have 8. And, advice you are being given is because of the issue of salaries. So I think you need to do something about that.
Right, yeah. Okay. Chair, I note that, but I'm just saying there is nothing in law. If there is, I stand advised. And of course, in our setting, we also have to deal with certain other challenges, issues of radicalization, and issues of security, which are peculiar to us. So, and also within the context of balancing the ethnic groups, because cohesion at community level, at ethnicity level, is important to us. So, having said that,
again,
I stand guided.
Governor, we are here today because of the issue of Gen Zs, you know that.
Yes.
And these are the things that they've raised. So let me allow your senator.
I think
he has any other questions to ask.
I think there's too many questions besides. Governor was supposed to answer my question for then the Somali and 3.
Can you answer that question?
Please.
Let him answer, allow him to answer that question.
Sorry, Senator, I missed that out. I think I answered the one on the on who's included, who's not included. And I think this was also raised by Senator Lemenen. The census coding of the Somalis has 12 subtribes, and one of them is Somali so-stated. So when someone says they are Somali, we can't really force them to say which section of Somali they are. So that Somali so-stated could well include the other subtribes of the Somali or the minority Somalis. But it's up to them to say, because it's a code accepted and recognized in the population census codes.
Okay, thank you.
Before you proceed, Governor, I think from the look of things, you have your remuneration for staff, salaries and all these things. It's almost, last time it was 46%, and it's gone up. So what is your plan now for, because you're saying your number is bloated, and your current is just too high in terms of remuneration. So what's your plan for that? To get, because you're supposed to be having 35%. Right. So is there any plan for that?
Okay, can answer, Governor.
Yeah, Chair, very quickly, I want to give a historical context to this. Being governor the first term, I had the best mix of recurrent and development percentage at between 42% for recurrent and 58% for development. And there are reports which my senator is aware of, that credible reports that show that. In the last 5 years, the county over-recruited. But that over-recruitment was not in areas that were required. When I came back this term, I came back to 73 dispensaries that were shut, that were closed. I had to renovate them and employ nurses. So in the last 2 months, we employed over 112 nurses. These were entry-level healthcare workers. This contributed partially to our increased wage bill. Having said that, as Vice Chair of Council, I have also argued, and I want to argue again, that the wage bill ratio is more of a revenue problem than an expenditure problem. Because our revenues are being squeezed, our costs, some of them are not controllable from the wage bill perspective. For instance, housing levy alone has increased my wage bill by over 300 million shillings, which expense is not controllable. So, and this is a ratio. It has a numerator and a denominator. So we have to raise more revenue, and that's why I'm increasing my own revenue to the best of my ability. But Senate has to fight for us to give us a decent allocation if we have to, if these ratios do not just become academic.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, some of my questions were not answered.
Yes, which ones are those?
The breakdown of CEC and Chief of SADSA separately.
Okay, thank you.
Chair, we had that in totality as an executive group, but we'll break it down. We have only 10 CECs, the rest are chief officers.
And also the age group, the age of the chief officers.
Okay, more information.
Thank you very much. I will give you 1 week. You want to ask any question? Okay, thank you very much.
Your Excellency, in a succession plan, because there are people those who are exiting, and you need to do replacement, of which I would advise you do with Gen Z.
Okay? That will be in the documents that you're going to. She's always talking about Gen Zs a lot, so you make sure that.
He has on the youth and women and what he has done. Has he provided any information? What he's done so far and what he's planning
Governor,
to do?
you know why they're asking those questions is because they have a document from Makueni County Governor. He had brought a very good document, what he is doing for women, Gen Zs. On some instances, what he did is those people who leave training, once they complete their training, they're given toolboxes. Some are given many different type of things. So I know you are also doing the same. You're doing even better. There was an issue of I've heard that you're doing in Wajir. If you can explain in short, a few minutes, only 2 minutes, please.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We're working with KCB Foundation to pool everyone who leaves our polytechnics so they can be on their own. As you've seen, we're recruiting a lot of Gen Zs through entry programs such as the nurses that we've just recruited over 212. We have a business incubation fund for women, which program I started in my first term. We have been frozen on that by the controller of budget because in my absence, money was lost from that program. It was not repaying itself. We now have a request to the Assembly to write off those monies because we have no mechanism to pay them so that we can restart that program. We were the first ones to establish a business incubation loan scheme for women at 0% interest called the Wajir Women Revolving Fund. Currently, we have established a plastic plant where we are converting all the plastic in our county into interlocking blocks. We established that with county funds, but we're partnering with Islamic Relief to actually help us pay the youth who collect the plastic. And this year alone, we're putting up 126 ECD classrooms by mixing the sand and that plastic. And those interlocking blocks give us 100 years guarantee. So these are programs that we are we are using to keep the youth busy. Once the Assembly writes off that loan, and that should not be out of place because we have been in Kenya. We know AFC loans have been written off for coffee farmers, for tea farmers and the like. I will reestablish the business incubation loan scheme for my women folk.
Chair, just to ride on it, I think he talks about writing off the loans. I think there are other counties who are doing very well in maintenance of that revolving fund.
Yes, you're
so
right.
I know Chairman will say that he will advise you on that. The only other issue is the reason why the agencies feel that they're not being heard and they're not being helped is because we don't tell them what we do. So if you can also give documents to show exactly what you've done, so at least let them out there know that Wajir Governor has done this and is doing this on this. He has these programs. He has done already this and he has planned for this, so that at least we can tell them this is what
Thank you, Senator Abbas. If you have your final comments.
Yes, I think I'll make up my phone because I'm going for another meeting. Finally, maybe Governor, in last year, 2023, there was some stuff that were laid out by Wajir Wasco. There were many. Because I know what happened last time. Was there any? And those people have not been compensated in their salaries and all these things. Can you maybe clarify if there was any payment that was made, when there was any send-offs for these guys, those who have been laid out, laid off?
Thank you.
Governor,
yeah, sorry.
That is a question that has not been in our docket, but it's good you answer them because of the benefit of the Wajir people.
Chair, I'm ready and able to answer any question thrown at me. Chair, yes, we laid off 119 people thereabout who were unprocedurally recruited at our water company. This is as a result of an audit that was done. We just didn't decide to fire them. It was through an audit. And there was abuse of process in recruiting these people. They subsequently went to court and they prosecuted the case in court. We defended ourselves. We won the case, because clearly they were recruited unprocedurally and we terminated them procedurally. That's why we won the case. We are still restructuring our water company because we want it to be a profitable company for its sustainability. It's a matter closed by the court. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Chair, can I make closing remarks?
Okay, please do so.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm proud to be associated with the Wajir because I'm the ODM Women League president. And I've heard you are doing so much for women. I'm happy. However, looking at the document, you are at 25.8. I know you come from Aso and Pastoralist County, but please have progressive way of making sure you have 30% of women representation. Thank you so much. You are doing well.
Thank you, Senator. Appreciate the comment on ODM through and through.
Thank you very much. Madam, anybody who wants to ask a final comment? If not, then I can ask the governor if you have any closing remarks, please.
Before that, his advice to the governor, who is also vice chairman of COG. I think I'm really impressed with the strategy that we have for people with disability, women, and also youth. So when you get some of this, some time, just go to these citizen or the public TVs, and then you really elaborate that so that most of the counties will replicate this best practice that you have from Garissa.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Senator. Senator, I think it is good that we have committees like this to remind ourselves of the need to comply with cohesion, diversity, and affirmative action. We all go to church and mosques every so often to be reminded of the fear of God. I think it's good that the Senate has taken up this issue, if not for anything else, but to mainstream and re-mainstream this agenda. We will continue improving towards not only meeting the constitutional thresholds, but exceeding them. I appreciate the committee's work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Governor Wajir. Let me take this opportunity to thank your team. You cannot do these things alone. Thank them and also you. I've noticed something in Wajir. If you look at, we have a senator, I wanted to remind you, he has 74 Kikuyus in his county. He has 32 Kambas for our friends there. And then apparently he has 33 Borans, which are from my county, or Isiolo County. And then my own clan, which is, and then Taraka, our senator was here. He has got one. You're at 2.27 PWDs. And if you want to, your neighbor, my county, Marsabit, to give you a few, then you have Isiolo, you are Mandera. They can help you. You are number 3, I agree with you. The only county with around 3% or 3 point was, which county I can't remember. And then definitely you are number 3, and that's very good. There is something very funny I've seen. There is a governor who is a Trans Nzoia governor. He has an Awili fund, a fund which he has set aside some amount of money. So LSO and LPOs go through that fund. It is a microfinance fund. If a person living with disability or a woman or a young man comes and requests for a contract or a supply, he goes, the fund, he will be given the money at 3%. Okay, I know I not allow that, but you can manage those things. Once they are paid through that fund. So it's a revolving fund. It will never collapse. Or like you are saying now, I know you are a specialist in issue of funds. I will not advise you. But this is what we've seen with the county of Trans Nzoia and also Makueni. So your county secretary, he can talk to the county secretary. That's on the other end. Again, something very important. I want you to join the others. Even now, as vice chair has gone to for that meeting. There is the issue of age above 35. I think what you've done is very good. Gen Zs, Madam, at page 4, almost 50% of young people below 34. This is the first time we've seen, and this is an indicator that shows that you care about Gen Zs. And finally, I want to...
Chair, before that,
yes.
Chair, I think we have some ladies.
Yes, yes.
And then we have also some senior.
Yes.
So surely it is not good for them to live without saying
fine. Because of time, that is a problem. But generally, Governor, I want to appreciate you coming here. I know you have, you cannot take our tea. We are serving you with tea, you and your members. I know you are rushing. I would wanted to allow, like our senator has said, but because of time, because of your time, what you are doing is